Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Triple Q report for Monday, January 31st, 2022. Before we look at the charts, just want to encourage you to please click like each and every time you watch the daily Triple Q report. It does, believe it or not, help us out a great deal with whether or not we are found when people search on YouTube for Triple Q analysis, Nasdaq-100, so forth and so on. And subscribing to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel will provide you notification each and every time new content has been uploaded to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. The daily Triple Q report goes out every day, and knowing when it has been delivered is important. Certainly viewing it before the opening bell on that particular day will make it more relevant and useful for your trading and analysis. So let's take a look at the charts. This is really just sort of a reminder here. We're nowhere near either of these points today, but 2 weeks ago this Wednesday, we settled below that 373.89 channel bottom, then eliciting, at the time I was calling a 3 to 5 week sell signal, down to 325.14. I've since narrowed it to 2 to 3 weeks given the still heightened volatility. Inside that wide area, there is a pivot point, that descending 1/3 speed line that contained last week's high. I've bumped it up to a 2-star resistance area. Tread lightly there, but nonetheless holding below 353.06. We'll keep 325.14 in reach by the end of next week, possibly this week. It can contain buying, I'm going to say, on a 2 to 3 day basis. So we remain on the defensive into later week below 353.06, and we should continue south into later week below 353.06. But if we close above 353.06, that 373.89 channel bottom is likely to be retested or tested over the next week or two of trade. Let's zoom in a little bit here, and I'll show you that if we push or open today above 353.06, we should reach 359.73, that rising channel top, where we can top out initially, possibly for the day itself. If we push through that, I do think we've got a good low for the day, and we should continue higher, possibly into the upper 360s within the day. I'll show that in a moment at the very end on the support and resistance area. But holding below 353.06, as I say, will keep the market on the defensive for today. And we could test that 325.14 channel bottom over the next week or two. Let's take a look at the downside today. 341.40, that short-term channel bottom, we broke it on Friday by a bit. It was probably uncomfortable if you were a day trader, but we did not close below it. And I still consider it to be a meaningful downward pivot point into later week. For good measure, you may throw in the low of last week's high at 340.78. So if you're looking to go short, if you don't do so at 353.06, you could consider, or if you're already short below 353.06, you could add to it, for instance, if you're a scale trader below 341.40 or 340.78, whatever the case may be. Because closing below 341.40, I think we're just a few days away then from reaching that targeted 325.14, where the Triple Q can place an annual low, and from there recover nicely as we continue into the middle part of the year. Now, I've been mentioning that if we do close below 325.14, the 286.86 50% downside retracement over the last 2 years becomes a 2 to 3 week target. And under most circumstances, I would say 255.42, a 2 to 3 month target. But we don't have most circumstances here because I still want to watch the SPY. If this plays out, where the Triple Q closes below 325.14, the SPY should be well on its way to approaching its target, presently at 397.59. So I do think that wherever the Triple Q is at that time, if the SPY honors that support level, bottoms out nicely, and then proceeds to rally, say, through February and into March trade after having tested it, then, I think what I'm saying is you can keep one eye on the SPY, as we continue to sell off, and then bottom pick the Triple Q in whatever that location may be. I hope I said that properly. I just want to mention also upside. And I know we're a long way from it. But once again, closing above 353.06 today should, by the end of next week, result in the 373.89 to 380.85 area as a target, and that narrowing ever so gradually. If we can get up and over 380.85, we have a good move low, not only for the quarter, but quite possibly for the year. I think that 408 and change high from November would then become a realistic 3 to 5 week objective, and we could, within a few months, push into the mid 420s if we close above 380.85. But just know that, yeah, closing above 353.06, the 373.89 to 85 area becomes a 1 to 2 week target. We should reach it by the end of next week. It can contain buying through February, and we can fall off from there back down to new lows into the mid 320s. I maintain that mid 320s target below 373.89, but it's the settlement above 380.85 dropping daily that would be the indication that this low is good, and we should see nice recovery as we continue into later Q1 and early Q2. Let's take a look at the support and resistance for today. There's a 353.06 descending 1/3 speed line, can contain buying into later week, and below which 325.14, that 2 to 3 week target, is likely to be realized by the end of next week. Downside today is the 341.40 short-term channel bottom that we slipped below a bit on Friday, did not close below. It can contain session lows, and if we settle below it, pivots the market more aggressively south into later week, we should then test that targeted 325.14 in as little as 3 to 5 days. Now, upside today, if we push or open above 353.06, 359.73 in reach, while closing today above 353.06 should yield 369.31 within the week. And as we continue into next week, 373.89 to 380.85. Now, there is a scenario that we could get a pretty significant short cover rally above 353.06, whereby that 373.89 to 380.85 area is then attainable by the end of this week. That is a real possibility, but nonetheless, that upper area, 373.89 to 80.85, able to contain buying through February, once tested or below which, whichever, however you want to phrase that, the 325.14 area remains a 2 to 3 week downside objective, and not until or unless we close above 380.85 do I see a good move low and then bullish continuation, a nice recovery as we continue into March trade. That is all I've got to say for today's Daily Triple Q report. Please click like each and every time you watch it. And don't forget to subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. I'll be back tomorrow for Tuesday's Daily Triple Q report. You have a great day.